Hey, welcome back to Tuesday where Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny, and today we're going to quickly talk about Snapchat's disastrous earnings that they reported that result in a 40% decline in the stock, and what that may imply for Meta and Google, who report this week, both positions that I own. I don't know about you. Do you own
Yes,
both Meta
both.
and Google at this point? Yeah. So it's something we're going to be interested to see what sort of trend this has. We also did a separate video about Graham Stephan's revenue and what that may mean for this kind of industry in terms of targeted ad spending. With that, we'll get to it.
If you like this kind of entertaining stock market content, or it's Tuesday where Guys trying to figure everything out, we'll get started. Give us a like and subscribe. It's been a long day.
Tuesday Guys Trade Stocks.
We're just...
Yeah. What do you think of this cliff? Just this absolute cliff here. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
looks like a fantastic roller coaster.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It looks like a roller coaster that might actually give you like some sort of brain bleed or something like that. Yeah. So this is a 5-day chart of Snap. Ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 5 days?
Yeah, that's 5 days. They went from $16 a share down to $10 a share.
That's
This
not
is
great.
actually, when you zoom out, it's even a little bit worse in my opinion. Do you realize that at one point in time, Snapchat was like a $75 a share stock?
I remember I was swing trading it, and I remember my stop loss for it was incredibly tight.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. This is their last earnings drop, and then the most recent earnings drop is over here, hidden right behind this giant red volume bar.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary.
I don't
Yeah,
know who's long this company.
yeah, that's something we talk about a little bit here too. But this is the weird thing with me. Like, look at this headline: near-death experience. When's the last time you saw an analyst talk about a near-death experience for a stock? That's insane to me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we'll probably see him sub $5 within 6 months.
Okay, okay. The interesting thing to me though too is like, look at this here where they're talking about all these other related companies. Look what it did to the entire like ad-based revenue market. I mean, Apple less so, but
Yeah,
Meta, Google, like why the hell did they sell off?
this it doesn't make any sense that they're so much bigger and have such a better business model and financials aren't in near as much debt. This should not have happened. I don't know how Snap could affect Meta. No one uses Snap anymore. Meta owns like multiple companies. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I like they're in the same league as we are to Graham Stephan. you know,
Sure.
our 3,000 subscribers to his 4 million. Like maybe in the same industry of financial kind of YouTube channels, but we're not even in like the same pond.
Well, I love being compared to Snap. It's great. It makes me
Yeah,
feel awesome.
yeah. Well, hey, it can only get better.
It's fair.
So this is the actual press release here, and there's a couple interesting things from it. One, did you know that they authorized a stock repurchase program?
With what money?
So they actually have cash in their balance sheet. They do have like $5 billion in cash,
Okay.
surprisingly. All right, that's
Okay.
from all the share dilution they've done over the last few years.
Yeah.
They've actually diluted their ownership by like 70% over the last 5 years. I looked.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
All right.
furthermore, there's another interesting point here, right? So $500 million share repurchase. Okay, that's good. The goal of this program is to use the company's strong balance sheet, which is true. They do have plenty of cash, to offset the dilution of these stock units that they've been issuing as part of their employee compensation. However, the other thing on this slide before I go away from that I want to point out here is this operating cash flow, $124 million. You know what the parentheses means? I mean, you're a Google shareholder, so you're
Negative.
probably used to seeing a lot of parentheses around numbers.
Negative.
Yeah, that's negative, right? Like in order to run the business for the 3 months, they had to actually like lose $124 million from their checking account, which is scary because when you're talking about cash flow, that doesn't include non-cash charges like shareholder, or stock-based comp.
Which
Look at
is
how
your
much
favorite.
stock-based comp they gave out in 3 months.
Oh.
318 million.
That's not
Yeah.
sustainable. Because so for
No.
a year then they're going to be losing 500 million. Did it say 4.9 billion cash?
Yeah, it's around $5 billion in cash that they have.
So they're losing 500 million a year just using the numbers from last quarter, But
Yeah.
if you add this in there, they go from 10 years of money to 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's way too much.
That 500 million stock-based comp buyback doesn't even actually cover what they've done in the last 6 months. Because they've done $600 million in stock-based comp in the last 6 months. Right here, this column. Yeah. Scary, isn't it?
That's it's very inappropriate amount.
Yeah. So this is another kind of interesting point. This was a quote from the CFO from the conference call, and he's talking about the fact that they've seen this reduction in terms of ad spend. Right. That's what they're basically saying is that, it's one of the first areas impacted in the economic downturn. Same thing we talked about in that Graham Stephan video, and it's been significant headwinds for their company. Particularly, Snapchat is kind of better at what they call a brand awareness campaign, where they're not really targeting to individual people as so much as they are targeting kind of a section of population that may be interested in a certain service. And those ads are not as effective at driving kind of revenue towards or conversion to customers. Therefore, that's one of the first areas that's pulled back on. And the same thing Graham talked about in his video, where he's getting more targeted things where people want to work with the content creator themselves rather than spending the money through YouTube.
Right. I mean, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure Snap is just used for nudes now. I think that's it.
I personally don't have a Snapchat, so I can't really say. I'm old enough to not have grown up in the Snapchat generation.
I don't have a Snapchat either. I tried it when I was like 25. I'm like, this sucks. I stopped using it.
Too many dick pics.
That's all it was. Yeah.
From what I've seen, basically the entire kind of premise of Snapchat now is people use it to distract their kids with the filters, like the crying Amber Heard filter.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I would dig a crying Amber Heard filter. That's fair.
Yeah, if you want to see what ugly cry looks like. So we did this separate video here. I'll link it in this video where we talked about what effect like the 2008-2009 recession had upon the revenue growth for both Google and Meta. Meta wasn't public, so we didn't have as much good data, but Google was at the time. So we're able to kind of show that they were actually still growing during the recession, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, which is why I think Vinny and I agree we're trying to slowly build portfolios as Google and Meta drop more and more and more.
Exactly. They're both right at the cusp where I'm trying to. Meta is in a buy zone for me. Google is super close. I bought a little bit of Google already, but that was just kind of to keep track of it. They dropped to 108 or so a share on this post-split adjusted, where when you're talking about $100 a share, it's starting to get pretty close to fair value in my opinion.
I'm 95
if you start
to
getting
100.
below that $100 a share, that it's go time. At least in my personal portfolio allocation.
Completely agree.
But both of them report earnings this week, and this is kind of what the street is looking for them. July 26th, so that's Tuesday, and Meta's July 27th, which is Wednesday. $1.29 a share for Google, $2.57 a share for Meta, $69.95 billion revenue. Ridiculous number compared to Snapchat's $1 billion. Just to give you an idea of the difference in scale between these companies. One is 30 times their size in revenue, and one is 70 times. And never mind, both of these are actually profitable, which is, something that Snapchat has literally had 1 year of positive free cash flow. Not profitability, a positive free cash flow.
Right. Yeah, it also helps when you just keep on having your stock go up and then you just selling more and more stock.
Yeah. If your stock is 7 times where it is right now, you might as well be issuing shares, right?
That's
stupid not to.
That's it.
Yeah. But that was really all my point is that I hope that the market continues to overreact to this Snapchat's little fiasco and what that can mean for Meta or Google, so that I can buy both of these companies at cheaper prices. So please keep selling both of them.
Yeah, ideally it'd be better if their earnings were 2 weeks away so they can continue to drop. That'd be really nice. But I'm definitely buying more. All right.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild week, that's for sure.
With
FOMC meeting and major tech earnings. Oh, yeah.
And did you say GDP?
Yeah, we get the GDP finally answer whether or
too.
not we're in a recession. Yeah. That's
Big
a
week.
point too. I forgot about that one.
All right, later, guys.
Catch you in the next one.